Now to a second part of a story we brought you about mental illness within the homeless population here and the help that different organizations offer. Our production editor, Jeff Easard, with the help of KTSM photojournalists, bring us this report.
One of the biggest concerns we've always had have been those individuals with a mental health diagnosis.
Well, we don't have a psychiatrist on staff. We have a registered nurse on staff. So for mental health issues, we're dependent on emergency health care. They do a very good job, but of course this is an area that none of us have sufficient tools that we need. There are not enough psychiatrists available.
There are some that definitely there's some ladies that apparently do end up speaking to themselves, or but every case is different.
Well, the people that are in the street, for the vast majority, do suffer from a debilitating mental illness. So we do see people who are suffering from schizophrenia and people who are also suffering from, depression and anxiety. So we are here to provide those services, any services they may need, so that they can become self-sufficient. So we bring them into our services, we provide them and link them to a housing opportunity. So we provide those services as soon as possible to bring them out of the streets, out of the shelters.
Statistically, I was looking at the numbers for different reasons. But one thing that surprised me, I expected the number to be high, but when I looked at the women by themselves, over 70% self-reported to have a mental health diagnosis. And the key words there are self-report, because that's part of our intake process, where we're just simply asking questions, we're getting to know them a little bit better as we work through that. I would say that number, in actuality, is going to be higher. And I also looked at the men, and the numbers for the men were high as well, but not as high. They were about half, a little over 30%, had self-reported mental health concerns. But too often we tend to put people into categories. Here's those with the mental health issues, here's those with chronic health. But the reality of it is the people we work with tend to have co-occurring needs. And so with the homeless population in general, and specifically with the Opportunity Center, one of the biggest gaps we have in the community is access to mental health services.
For the most part, they are all suffering from mental illness and co-occurring disorders, but they have a long history of trauma. So we're here to provide those services. We're here to provide the medication, the psychiatric treatment that they may need so that they can lead successful lives.